The 2019 harvest in Germany needs very little introduction. The Rieslings from that year, of course, disappeared in a flash, and now it's the turn of Pinot Noir, or Spätburgunder. So down in Baden, Germany's best region for Pinot, had a pretty much ideal season, really. The summer days were nice and warm, and there was a handy smattering of rainfall to freshen up the vines around harvest. The team down at Weingut Bernhard Huber started picking their grapes in mid-September out among the vines in the early mornings after nighttime temperatures that dipped often into single figures. Now, Julian Huber told us that the bunches came into the winery with small berries whose skins were lovely and crunchy and thick, and with, I particularly like the sound of this, cool, inspiring aromatics. So this here is the 2019 Bernhard Huber Malterdinger Pinot Noir, grown on the limestone-rich soils around the family's home village. Now, Malterdinger is literally synonymous with Pinot Noir, as in it's another name used to denote the grape variety in some quarters, and that's because it's been grown here for so long. It was well over 700 years ago that Cistercian monks brought the grape here from Burgundy. And if we're going to talk about history, then it's very important to say that Bernhard Huber, the late great Bernhard, was way ahead of his time in putting his faith in German Pinot Noir, particularly when grown in this relatively warm area down near the Swiss border. It was back in the 1980s, in fact, that Bernhard broke ranks with the local cooperative, believing, quite rightly as it turns out, that in the right hands, with enough instinct, curiosity and hard work, that a world-class Pinot Noir domain could emerge down here in Baden. And since Bernhard's untimely death in 2014, it's been his son Julian at the helm, and he continues to do a fantastic job. So back to the wine then. 2019 Bernhard Huber Malterdinger Pinot Noir. Let's just zero in on some of this labelling stuff. I don't know if you can see it down here, pretty small. Malterdingen, as I said, is the name of the village, and Malterdinger up here in big letters just means from Malterdingen. Up here on the capsule you have the eagle motif, signalling that this estate is one of about 200 odd members of the venerable VDP, an association of growers championing world-class viticultural standards and putting added emphasis on the provenance of their estate-grown grapes. You know, really zeroing on terroir and the single vineyards. This one here, though, is classified VDP Ortswein, and it's honestly the standard of a very good Burgundy. In other words, this offers outstanding value for old world Pinot Noir of this quality. Now, it's very red fruited to smell. We're talking cranberries, raspberries and cherries, a touch of rhubarb, maybe from whole bunches, some Indian spice and sweet biscuit oak influence. The palate has lovely youthful innocence to it. It's open, pure and juicy, and feels relatively slender and channeled, but not exactly tight. Certainly, though, not loose and sprawling, and yet it flows really nicely to the corner of the mouth with lovely bright tannins. The acidity here is clear and cool, and the spice and tangy fruit glide really long through the mouth. Overall, there's this lovely sense of composure to this wine, and innocence, yes, but with seamless structure and complexity that make it beguiling. It really is a fantastic quality Pinot Noir. Anyone who has any curiosity about the standards that the very best German Pinot Noir are hitting these days needs to look for Bernhard Huber from the village of Malterdingen down there in Baden. I hope you managed to track it down.